This of bright greens that I see in the reference photo. And at this point, I'm just not worried about any kind of uh, color that I exactly see in the photo. And the materials I use are very cheap, student grade. So, if I try my best to achieving the exact colors are a little bit difficult. So I'm just here going with my imagination, not trying to copy the reference photo exactly. I'm just trying to bring out different kind of greens that are possible with my palette and laying them next to each other. And the darker shades, I mixed blues and greens together, and some places I wanted a warmer green where I mixed brown and green, and some places I directly used black and yellow, and then blue, dark green, and yellow. These colors are like from the value level changes will be uh, minimal, and when we lay them next to each other, we kind of bring out the effects of, you know, one leaf being over another and one leaf being in the uh, very bottom of the, you know, the bush which I'm trying to draw here. The subject I took is a lonely bird that is in a bright, color filled branch of a bush. So, when I try and bird mostly, it kind of gives me a feeling that, you know, uh, being lonely is not about being sad or something. Lonely the never just means, you know, negative stuff. Lonely bird, when I see a lonely bird, it kind of gives me a feeling that, you know, anything that is able to stay lonely can actually achieve freedom in its way of living. So whenever I see a lonely bird, I feel the freedom and the strength that it has to lead a, you know, challenging kind of flight. So here I brought the basic bigger leaves out, and it kind of looks abstract as of now, and I didn't try hyperrealism or even realistic effects. I'm just trying to bring out a loose sketch and loose drawing techniques, painting techniques to just, you know, try on my own and see where it goes. And these flowers were particularly brighter and so much attractive in the photograph that I had. And I don't know whether these flowers are from around a tropical region. I'm from India, and I never seen this flower anywhere here. And I think I don't know. I don't think I know the nativity of this floral uh, aspect of this painting. But still, I enjoyed painting that such a bright red. So here I'm when I from the beginning I'm saying that it is a bright red, but I'm still using palest value of red here. It's because I'm trying to bring out the 3D effect, even though it's a loose painting. It must have some of the values captured, so it has the nicer overall look. And you can see the light uh, falling onto the flowers and making different effects. So to capture that, I'm starting with a pale wash. So when I put darker colors next to each other, it would become the lightest value, and it'll some kind of have a shine through effect that I am trying here. So I'm laying down the branches a little. So when the red and green comes together, it's like quite a bit of a good looking contrast that we can say. So I'm pretty much using the green pale washes to bring out the shadowy areas and where I want to want the paper not to show. So I'm just filling out all the areas where I just think you know mm, it's just left alone, the paper is showing through. And back to my introduction here. I'm mm, software engineer from India, and art is kind of became my hobby nowadays. And I'm not an artist who paints well, or who even paints for more than a year or so. I'm just starting right now, and kind of the control and the fulfillment that I have with creating art is not easy to find doing anything else. And yeah, that's why I started painting. And this video shooting and trying to post it to YouTube kind of makes a little bit more effort, needs little bit more efforts, and that kind of makes me committed to what I tried as a hobby and what I like the most, and try to share my experience and why I started to paint, and just sharing what I feel about my art to the you know rest of the world through YouTube. And here I'm trying to mix different kind of greens with with same mixes like blue, ultramarine blue, yellow, and sometimes I have used the dark green, which is of more blue tinted, and I'm just filling up the areas where the paper is showing. And the reference photo I took is pretty small, but I'm trying to draw it in a A3 paper. And the paper that I use also is not a artist quality one. I'm just using a regular sketchbook, minimum of 200 lbs, I think. And it's not quite recommended for um, watercolors. So try to get the best in the market, and it should work better for you. But when you're starting out, you just kind of experiment whether you can paint or not. So I couldn't spend that much on my materials, so this is all I got. Here, for a closer look, I try to focus on the smallest area where I used the bright red color I was talking about when tried to say about these flowers. So I just focused on the corner of my paper and just tried to take it, but quality doesn't seem that good. But I used mostly uh, full red mixture and red color water mixture, and when I paint you can see I'm leaving a blob of the pale wash that I have given in the you know first initial wash. So when it shows through and shows through the bright reds that I'm using in this wash, makes it uh, a little more 3D effect kind, where the light falls in the paler area. So if you manage to save those pale wash areas in a dot or so, like I'm doing here in this batch of flowers that is in the corner of the drawing that I was making. So with that, it looks pretty much mm, 3D. The lighter areas are there. I mean, this is the two value effect. One darker value that I'm drawing right now, and the paler wash shows the second value. And I am going to add a third value where the color goes much darker. That I didn't use in prominent areas. What I did is I did not worry about the green bleeding through the red and red bleeding through the green much in this drawing, particularly because one thing I can't control it as I use very thin paper. It will bleed through, so I knew it beforehand. And the next thing is, even if it bleeds through the green that I have, it just creates a value, added value to the reds that is there and the green effects that is there. So it's just darkens the edges where it bled through, and it's a loose painting, and I didn't worry much about those. And when I see the finished image, it didn't bother me that much. But if you are, and if you like to draw some controlled values where the color shouldn't bleed through, or it has to be a neat finish, then you have to go for much better, thicker paper, cold pressed cotton fiber, so that it won't have all this negatives in it. And we are back to introduction again. And I'm from South India, which is where, you know, in the south corner of the subcontinent, which no one does care, but it still managed to, you know, be an engineer and having a job in Chennai. That's kind of a good deal. I earn that I can spend. That's all. And okay, now I came to the darkest mix that I wanted to have. So here I'm bringing in the third value, which will give the depths and the shadows between the flowers and the leaves that are natural. So here I'm doing very loose painting, and it could bleed through some of the greens, and I'm trying to cover up some of the darkest value on the flowers as well, where I wanted to give a you know depth of a feeling. So here I used red and brown together with my utmost limited palette and I'm just filling some of the greens too with this color where I just thought it could be flower petals that is there beneath these bunch of flowers that is standing in the top of it. So this will give a simple but unique effect where simple green or the brown plus red mixtures that I couldn't give. So I've changed the angle. Now you can see the frame where the depths and other values with two or three variances I have achieved some good looking 3D effect on these flowers. Now I'm drawing painting the flowers that are beneath the my subject, that is the bird. Yes.